Hello, thank you for joining me today. I'm Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK, and you're joining me here today as part of the Stamp Around UK video hop. A group of us UK demos like to get together once a month and share our video tutorials for projects. We have a theme every month, and our theme for this month is favourite DSP. DSP stands for Designer Series Paper, which basically means patterned paper. Stampin' Up do a huge range of patterned papers, all of them gorgeous, and we had to choose our favourite one for this project, and I have chosen the Love You Always. I think that's what it's called. Let me check. Yes, Love You Always for design speciality foiled papers, and the coordinating plain foil papers that go with it, which are called Love You Always foil sheets. So there's Love You Always speciality and Love You Always foil sheets. They come in 3 colours. So the foils, the plain foils, are Blushing Bride, Rococo Rose and Sahara Sand, which is a lovely sort of champagne-y colour. I love that colour. And then the patterned ones that coordinate, here we have Sahara Sand with the leaf pattern, and I don't know if you can see that glinting in the camera. Beautiful foiling on there with those leaves in coordinating colour. This is the Blushing Bride, and the Blushing Bride foiling coordinates with the foil sheet there. So the matte part of the sheet is Blushing Bride, and the foiling is in coordinates with the foil colour. And then we've got Rococo Rose, again gorgeous Rococo Rose, and you can see that gleam, that shine there. We're going to use Sahara Sand today. Now what we're going to make is a coordinating box to go with this one. This box I made following some instructions from Nigeza, who's also on this video hop, so you can pop over and see her and then maybe investigate her video to make this box. She used different papers, but it's basically the same design. But I needed a box to fit some Body Shop body butter. Is it body? Hand butter. Hand butter. Yeah, it's not body butter, it's hand butter. So I want a little box. So I'm going to do a little stack of boxes, stack of 2 boxes coordinating, and then this is going to be a present. I'm going to put some chocolates in here. They might be handmade chocolates if I get around to making them. If not, I'll have to buy some. And then I'm going to put another box on top there and tie it up with some ribbon. So I'm going to show you the other box now. I'm not a great box maker. Those of you who followed me for a while know that I mostly make cards. So I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone today, and I've calculated the measurements. So I'm hoping that they're going to work. Otherwise I'm going to be starting this video again. So first of all, in order to fit my hand butter, and don't we all need hand cream at the minute with you having to wash our hands so often, so I thought this would be a really good present. I'm going to cut my cardstock, and this is Sahara Sand Start cardstock, and I'm cutting it to 6.5 by 6.5 inches. Those of you who follow me as well know that normally I work in centimetres, but when I'm making 3D items I do tend to do inches, as I find the measurements a lot easier to do this way. And then we're going to score round the edges of this. So this is going to be the base of our box, and we're going to score round at 1 3/4 inches all the way round. One tip I would give you, when I was making my pink box, the Blushing Bride box, I got a bit muddled up as to which was the top and which was the bottom, which was the base. So I'm going to write on this one so that I know that this is the smallest one. Because they're slightly different sizes, because you want the lid to fit over top quite nicely, so that it slides on and off. Right, okay, so that's going to be the base of our box, and the rose butter is, the hand butter is going to sit in there. Finish that in a minute. Oh, I need another sheet now. Forgot to get another sheet. Excuse me while I just go and grab another sheet of Sahara Sand. I was forgetting I needed 2 sheets. Now this one is just going to be slightly bigger. It's going to be 6 9/16. So this one effectively was 6 8/16. So this is just a 1/16 of an inch, and that's so that we make it just that slightly bigger. So there's the 6.5 mark, and I'm just going to go 1 up from there. to make it 6 and 9/16. This is the bit that makes it a little bit easier, I think, when you're working in 16ths, 8ths and 16ths and quarters. Oh, I've just cut that instead of scoring it. Oh, that one's going to go in the bin. Hey ho, let's start again. Good job I've got a good stock of Sahara sand. Hey, take a tip from me, keep your tool, your cutting tool, well out of the way when you're scoring. Right, there we go. If I was a pro, I would edit that bit out of my video. Hey ho, maybe I will. Wonders will never cease. Right, okay, we're scoring this again at 1 3/4, so the same as we scored the other one, with the scoring blade, not the cutting blade. Can get through quite a lot of cardstock wastage doing that. That will be used though. That piece of cardstock, I will find a use for it. Won't get thrown away. It's too expensive to just discard. I'm quite liking Sahara Sand. It's really drawn my attention to it using these papers, because wasn't one that I used an awful lot. Right, okay, so you can see that that's just a very slightly bigger, not very much. So the smaller one is your base, and the bigger one is your top. So just make sure you've got that marked, or that you know in your head which one is which. Get rid of all my spare pieces. A lot there that I can make mats for cards that I might do, and use some of this lovely foiling paper to do those. Right, okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to burnish. I will on my blog put the measurements for the bigger box that I made. That one measures 4 by 4 by 2. This one is going to measure 3 by 3 by 1 3/4. So it's slightly smaller. If you want to make the bigger one, I'll put all the measurements, and the measurements will be the link to my blog will be below, so you can check that out to make the bigger one as well. Okay, right, okay, so I'm going to do the base first. I'm going to take my snips and I'm going to cut straight up here and then slightly angled this way, and then straight up here and slightly angled this way, and straight up here and slightly angled. So basically these sides are staying straight, and these tabs have just got a slight wedge on them, just to make gluing them together a bit easier. Right, okay. Now when we put this together, we need to check. Can you see these overlap a bit there, and I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to overlap. So I'm going to trim off. I'm just going to mark in the middle there. And I'm just going to trim off that spare piece, because I want them to meet, but I don't want them to overlap, because that will just give us another ridge inside our box to stop. To just won't look very neat. Actually, it won't matter too much on the base. With the top, it matters because it just gives another ridge. So just put this together again, and what I'm doing, I'm just roughly marking in the middle, so that I know that if I cut off a piece that size and a piece that side, then they should meet up more in the middle without overlapping. And you can just try it. You can just roughly put it together like so. Actually, I've got a bigger space, but that doesn't matter. I don't mind having a bigger space. So it's just I don't want them to overlap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub out base, because I don't want that to be showing through when I've done it. And I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal. Now, those of you who've watched me making boxes before know that I have a love-hate relationship with Stampin' Seal. So I have been using it this afternoon, and I have been successful. Just need to turn it so that it's there. So we'll hope. Somebody did say that if you had your silicone mat out and just rolled it on your silicone mat, which maybe I ought to do, and that would work to keep it going steady. Just it gets a blank bit there and you can't quite get any purchase on it. No, just... I used to have problems with fast fuse as well. Some people used it really, really seamlessly, and I found it really difficult. There we go. Right, okay, and so we're just carefully going to line those up. We'll only get one chance with the Stampin' Seal, so try and get them lined up perfectly before you press down. And this one, that one inside there. There we go. There, that's the base of our box done, and hopefully our body butter will fit, our hand butter will fit really nicely in there, which it does. Right, same process for the top. So I can rub, I know I'm working on the top now, so I can rub out top, and then I'm going to do the same for the tabs as I did before. So straight up and then a wedge, straight up and then a wedge. I wonder how you're all doing out there. We're still in lockdown in the UK as I'm filming this, although we're waiting for an announcement from our Prime Minister tomorrow to let us know how much longer we've got to stay in lockdown for. So maybe we'll be able to open up sometime soon, although theoretically I'm still supposed to be shielding for another month and a half, so I don't suppose anything's going to open up. I've had my vaccination, but my first vaccination, but nothing much is going to change for me very soon, I don't think. Right, there we go. So that's the top of our box. So I'm going to do the same thing as we did before because these overlap. Okay, so we're going to trim a piece off each of them. Doesn't have to be accurate. I was measuring it before, but actually, you know, you can just cut a bit off. It's just that you don't want them overlapping because there's going to be an extra ridge then, an extra layer of cardstock. And here. You could leave them if you wanted to. I just prefer, I think it's just a bit neater not to have them. And then just check that you've got that. So there we go. They're not overlapping anymore. There we go. Right, okay, so the same thing, put some Stampin' Seal on each tab, but this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my base to guide me as to where to stick it, because I want to make sure it will slide on and slide off my base really easily, and the pink one doesn't very easily because I didn't do this step. Okay, so put it on your box. That flap doesn't go down. Those two flaps go down. And then bring the other one, and that will give you a perfect fit. And then the same on the other side. Bring those two flaps in and press. And then you've got a beautiful box that you can slide on and off. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do some very, very small. I'm going to measure the centre first of all, actually, because I want this to be centred. So the centre is down here a bit. Is there. And there. Okay. And we're going to do some thumb holes. Fairly small. I'm not going to do them too deep, but just so you've got a little thumb hole to help you open the box if it gets stuck like that. Okay, so now that will go on there fairly easily, and you've just got a couple of little thumb holes to help you pull that apart. Now we're going to decorate our box. So for the top, we've got a piece of foil which measures 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and a piece of foil which measures 2.5 by 2.5. So that goes on there. This is going to be a very classy box, I think. Quite liking this. I'm going to use Tombow to stick the foil to the box because that's paper to paper, and that will be fine. and that will give me some wiggle room to make sure I get this in the center and straight, like so. And then this, which is going to go there, I'm going to use Stampin' Seal, because it's gluing onto foil which is not porous, so I don't ever feel you will get a very good adhesion. It will stick for a while, but as it dries out, I find that it doesn't stick as well. So just make sure you've got the borders lined up here before pressing down. There we go. Beautiful. And then we're going to do the sides exactly the same, except we've got to allow for these thumb holes for these. So we'll do those ones first. So we've got a piece of foil and a piece of, so I'm going to mount them together first. And the reason I'm not going to glue it on, because to punch through 3 layers of card, punch through, the reason I did these punch these out before was because to punch through 3 layers of card is really hard for your punchers and doesn't do them any good. I wrecked one trying to do that, so I'm not very pleased about that. So, but I think this should work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position this on here, and I'm just going to mark where I want the punch to come to. Oh, look, I've got a little label on there telling me what colour this is, Sahara Sand. There. And then that will mount onto there nicely. Like so. Perfect. Right, I'm just going to rub that out in case that pokes through. And again, I can use... I must have labelled these with the colours when I first had them. I don't remember doing it. But then I don't remember a lot of things these days. There we go. There we go. And then on the other side, exactly the same process. So if you've got really hardy punches, of course, you might want to just stick it on and then punch through. But I tell you, when I tried it, I ruined one of my punches, which I'm quite sad about. So I didn't want to put them under that kind of duress. Right, so this is going here. And again, just going to put a little mark, and that's how I know where the top of the punch needs to go, where it needs to be punched out. So just like so. And that's going on the other side over there. Perfect. And then I've just got the other 2 side panels to do, which won't take very long. There we are. I hope you've been enjoying jumping around all the other videos. There are some amazingly talented designers on these blog hops. I'm always gobsmacked by the standard of the projects that are done. It's really worth taking a bit of time, won't you? Make a cup of tea or coffee or whatever, or have a glass of wine, beer, whatever is your poison. And just sit down for a couple of hours and browse through some of the videos. They're really lovely. And I found a tip actually, which if you're pushed for time but you still want to see the tutorials, you can actually put it on double speed, and then you can watch and you can listen as well, although we all sound a bit like Mickey Mouse, and you can zoom through them, but you still get to see them all, which is great. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're watching this, I'd be so grateful if you would subscribe. I'm trying to get to 5,000. My initial target was to get to 5,000 by the end of February, and I don't think I'm going to make that now, but as soon after the end of February as possible, that would be lovely. So if you feel like doing that, that would be great. You just press the red subscribe button on my channel. If you want to receive notifications every time I make something and post a tutorial, you can press the bell as well, and then you'll get a little notification. Right, there we go. That's our finished box. Let's pop our rose butter in it. Pop the lid on top. There we go. And that's beautiful. So that's going to go on top here. So we've got a little group of boxes, and now all I'm going to do to finish is take my ribbon. This is the metallic Blushing Bride, So I'm going to start there with enough ribbon to make a bow. Round there. Take this round again and underneath. This is going to be one of these annoying presents for someone because it's going to be so hard to retie the bow once they've opened it. Hey ho, the friend I'm sending it to won't mind. There we go. And then just pull that up there like that and cut off a piece of ribbon there. Right. Slightly trickier when you've got this double-sided ribbon when it's not all the same, but I think that will work. So that's got to go through there, and then straighten up my boxes, tie a knot. Oh, beautiful. And then now I could have done another little box with the Rococo Rose if I had any Rococo Rose cardstock, but when I went to look, I've actually completely sold out, used up all my Rococo Rose, so I'm going to have to order some more. So, and I might have already done that by the time you're watching this video because I'm very impatient when I run out of things. I'm just going to do that slightly longer. Right, there we are. Let's get rid of all this. That is my little stack of boxes with my favourite at the moment, the Speciality DSP. I think that's absolutely beautiful. I think they look brilliant. Love them, love them, love them, and I hope you do too. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me today. All the links to the other videos are down below, so do have a click on some of those and have a look at all the videos that we've got going on today. And do subscribe, like I say, if you feel able to. And if you want to order anything, I will put all the products that I've used underneath as well so that you can click through and order anything. Do remember to use my host code if you order from me on my online shop, and then I can send you a free product gift next month, which is always nice to get. The product gift code will be on my blog, but I can quickly just tell you that, oh no, I haven't got a March one set up yet. No, I'll have to do that. I've got a February one, but by the time you watch this, it will be March. So anyway, that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed my video, and I will be back with you again very, very soon. Bye for now. Bye.